Hello, and welcome to Calming the Chaos. I'm a little bit late with my theme music there. Hopefully everybody can hear it okay, and it'll end when it ends. I'm your host, Tracy Canella, and here I am, trying to calm the chaos in my own little way. And I think I got it right this time. Oh my goodness. There was a lot of chaos this morning trying to figure out what I had done wrong in YouTube and in StreamYard, but I'm glad I'm here now. And I've got my trusty moderator, Timmy, and he's got a wrench and knows how to use it now. Yes, I love that. So credit to Trill, which is Tracy and Will, for that tune. That is the theme song to Calming the Chaos. And welcome, I guess. There's a couple people here. It's awesome. I see some people, and we have a topic we're going to stay on for no longer than an hour. But if it gets boring, then we'll cut it off sooner. And we're just doing this because it's Monday and it's my day off, and we are learning about StreamYard, YouTube. I see some of my friends in there. There's Kelly, the advocate, Sagacious Angel, and Crystal, and my beloved Timmy, who is doing a bunch of, I don't know, what were they? Sound effects earlier? They were very funny. So I was trying to set up this whole thing, and he has these clips that would definitely be copyrighted, banned, or whatever. I don't know if he played them on the air, but they're clips from movies. And so I'm trying to set up this webcam so I don't look like a ghost. So this webcam I'm using is a different one. It is probably from 2010. It's so old, but it actually does not make me look like a ghost. So here I am. And yeah, I was going through a lot, and he was playing these sound clips in my ear, and it was quite irritating and caused me to, and then our cat started meowing for no reason, and he's got a huge loud meow. You might be able to hear that through the show today. But anyway, just so much overwhelm, so many things to keep track of. And then I realized I'd set up everything wrong in YouTube and had to redo everything this morning. So, hi, Lady Lucan. Is it Lucan or Lucan? I'm not sure how to pronounce that, but it's good to see 4 or 5 people here. I'm not sure. I can't see how many people are here, but I just see people who are. Okay, so my husband, Timmy, he says that Louis is in his hammock. Oh, thankfully. Oh my gosh, that cat has the meow. He really does. He has a really big meow. So yeah, so we've got a couple people here. I wonder if anybody is in chaos right now or had a chaotic sort of thing happen to them that they want to kind of bring up. And if you do, then you just bring your comment on screen, because I think I know how to do that. And if not, we'll just continue on with the topic that we had planned on for today. And if I need any cosmic comic relief, then I will bring on my dear husband, who is wrenching away. Everybody's being so nice. Yes, I have to make that announcement about please respect YouTube guidelines about live streaming. This is only my 3rd one, so hopefully the 3rd time is a charm here. And I'm really wanting it to be, nice and fair. And it's okay to disagree with things or whatever, but let's try to be respectful. And that's what YouTube wants, right? So here we are. Okay. Well, so anybody have any chaos? And I don't know if I'm reading these. My husband says StreamYard has a little bit of a delay, but I'm not sure that, well, not too bad, because Kelly just said respect. And looks like I can put her on screen. So that's not too bad of a delay. Right. Well, and who can be disagreeing about chaos? I really don't understand how anybody can disagree that there's a lot of it. In fact, I've noticed that there's a lot of it in, like, when I just pull up my Google and see what's going on in the world, I see a lot of that all the time. And in fact, I got this email the other day. It was about chaos. And I thought, whoa, like, what are you doing? Kind of everybody's talking about it. And who knew? So this person was talking about, who you are when it gets chaotic, when it gets overwhelming, when it gets really difficult, when you are in the chaos show, basically. And what I think about with that is natural disasters. So something that's unexpected that happens to you in your life, and all of a sudden your mind is just spinning. So it can be actual real chaos. And I know that one of the people was on my first live stream, Outback, and he posted something on his channel about a fire in the Outback where he lives, and he was fighting it. And so for me, that would be very chaotic. And to be able to just have your presence of mind to be able to fight a fire when the conditions are hot and dry, and then you're next to the fire, and then you're in the fire truck, and the fire truck is actually really, really hot. If any of you haven't seen that video, I can post the link in the notes when I get through with this, because I didn't know if I was supposed to post them before or not. But yeah, I would really like to hear how he keeps calm during that sort of thing, because it sounded really super, very, very stressful, because a community could have gotten burned. So who are you? Are you able to keep yourself calm when there's a chaotic situation around? Or are you... So the person in this article, I'll name him. His name is I love this name, by the way. It's Grupo Contigo. It sounds like something you'd order in a restaurant when I think about it. Grupo Contigo. Grupo Contigo says, when he's talking with his hands, in the middle of chaos, who are you? Who are you? And so I'm thinking, okay, so am I proactive? Am I reactive? Am I a hero, or am I a helper, or am I a victim? Am I proud of myself for the way I acted? Well, usually not, because let's be honest, what most of my chaos is from technology. And I'm not really happy about the way that I act on the phone with Comcast, or there's a fly around here. Anyway. So looks like somebody does have a question. I'm going to put that up. How are people, dealing with the COVID restrictions? Right, because this goes into what we're saying, like, who are you when things are chaotic, when possibly you don't want to abide by the COVID restrictions, or if you are restricted and you're prevented from doing something that you really want to do in your life. There's a lot of things that can happen. In fact, I think one of my podcast episodes goes into that. I'm not sure if it's one of the ones on YouTube or not, but yeah, it's for me, and I can bring Timmy up here because the chat looks pretty calm. Looks like he's not having to deal with a lot. Timmy, are you ready to come up? I can bring you up. I can see him in the green room. He looks so cute. Anyway, but the restrictions, as far as we go, we just went to a movie theater last week, and it was a private screening for my husband's 50th birthday. And we think we had about 17 people there in this movie theater. It was crazy, and it was a little scary. And yet everybody was wearing masks, eating popcorn. Aha. So let's see. I don't know that everybody always wants to hear about me. So Kelly said something that I'm in between proactive and reactive, which is good. That's a good balance. If you're too proactive, you're going to be maybe a little bit too anxious or paranoid or looking for things to happen. And if you're too reactive, you're going to get caught, unprepared. So I like that. I like that everybody in here seems so balanced. That maybe I'm the only one that's not. In fact, I like to think that I tried to be proactive in putting this live together, although I did it not the right way, but it came together all right. And we were able to be reactive. And yeah, so what about emotions when chaos comes? Like, say, again, I think of natural disasters. When I was a little girl, a big old eucalyptus tree blew down and fell onto our roof of our house. And it was really noisy. It fell on my mom's bedroom, and I was in the bedroom across the hallway from her. So nobody was in that bedroom, but I was in my bedroom, and I heard this thud, and the whole house shook, and I didn't know what was going on. And the emotion was fear. And I think that a lot of things with chaos happen with fear and chaos. And what do you do with fear? So anybody have any suggestions, tips? Oh, there's something. Here's something about the restrictions. Yeah, some people don't like wearing masks. And so it looks like Kelly abides by the restrictions out of respect for others, it sounds like. Right. Yeah, we took a little bit of a risk going out into that theater, but we were really cautious. Everybody was wearing masks, and we, of course, how are you supposed to eat popcorn in a movie theater when you have a mask on? And so we did have to take the mask off for some time. And so, yeah. So Crystal talks about anxiety, and that is in the fear family. When we have anxiety or overwhelm, we get kind of anxious, like I was when I was trying to figure out why one webcam that costs quite a bit of money makes me look like a ghost, and the other one from 1975, no, I'm just kidding, it was probably 2005, is fine. I just don't get it. So I had anxiety about, like, why is this not working out? And then my husband's in the background playing these clips from these movies, and I forget what one of them was, but it's like you'll never figure this out or something like that. Just some encouraging stuff that he likes to do. So yeah. Anybody have any go-to skills that they use for anxiety? Crystal, maybe you do. I know I like to be breathing. Just remind yourself to breathe. I like to breathe a couple of different ways just to control my emotions. So I don't know. One of the ways I like is breathe in and hold your breath for 8 seconds and really count really slowly that 8 seconds, and then let it out as slowly as you can. And it gets oxygen to your brain. It distracts you because you're counting, and it's just all around good for your system. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, I like this. And it's good because Timmy has a joke for you. You want to tell us your joke, Timmy? You want me to bring you on since everything's pretty calm in here? Somebody else says they do yoga, which is a preventative thing. So thanks, Crystal, for that. And yeah, I admire people who could do yoga. Yoga that's not yoga torture or hot yoga. I've done hot yoga before, and that's pretty miserable for me, but it's not that way for everybody. Some people really like hot yoga. And yeah, so Lady Lucan says that she breathes in and out, and Kelly does breathing techniques with my Sesame Street breathing technique. Oh, interesting. Well, speaking of Sesame Street, that is so very, I don't know. Are you psychic or something, Kelly? Because that is exactly what our joke is about today. Can I bring you on, Timmy? Timmy, you want to tell us your Sesame Street joke? Oh, he must be delayed. Are you going to tell us your joke?
Oh, I'm there. I didn't know I was there. Sorry, I was still on the YouTube side of things. You want my joke? Okay.
What's the joke?
It's a joke. It's a question.
Oh, it's a question. I thought it was a joke.
I don't know. There has only been one non-human Sesame Street character that has appeared before the Supreme Court.
Ah, right. Okay. So it's more of a guessing sort of a thing.
Non-human Sesame Street character to appear before the Supreme Court.
Yeah, and I I have to say that I did not guess this one. After 3 guesses, he had to give me a clue, and that's the only way I guessed it. So yeah. So we'll wait for answers for that. And in the meantime, Timmy, how are you doing down there with the wrench? Are you experiencing any chaos at all? I see your eyes darting around. That is a sign of chaos.
It's hard. I keep flipping back between the screens. I don't know how everybody else does it when they're doing this, but I'm flipping back and forth because StreamYard doesn't let me delete anybody. Not like I need to delete anybody. So I keep going back and forth, and then I see myself on the YouTube, and I'm delayed. Like that was 30 seconds ago. That's not now. So Kermit the Frog is not the answer, but that was a good guess.
That's one I did not guess, but it is still. There's so many non-human characters in Sesame Street. It's pretty much. Hello, Stephanie. Thanks for coming on. That's great. I appreciate this. We're just talking about chaos and about how people handle it. I know Sagacious had, and then we just had a question. Oh, honey, can you repeat that question again? The Sesame Street question.
Yeah, so since Kelly had mentioned Sesame Street, I posed the question, who is the only non-human participant from Sesame Street that has appeared before the Supreme Court?
Yeah. So not any, there's only like 3 humans, right? I don't even remember. Bob was one of them, and there was a lady, and anyway.
There was another good guess, Big Bird. Sorry, that is incorrect. But that's, you guys, obviously, there can't be too many.
Sagacious says she's good at keeping her emotions at bay. Stiff upper lip. Yeah, well, if it's your children, that's the other thing. That can just throw you into chaos if it's your children or your animals. And yeah, so you might be experiencing either fight, flight, or freeze, Sagacious, when that kind of stuff happens. I know I do with my cat. If he is having a problem, I just freak out. That's what the kids say. I freak out, which means I'm running around trying to figure things out, wiping up vomit or whatever it is that happens to be going on with my animal. And so I have to remind myself to breathe and to, think clearly, because you just can't think clearly unless you breathe. Any other Sesame Street guests?
Well, somebody had guessed Miss Piggy.
Wouldn't it be great if we could have Kermit the Frog and Big Bird on to my show?
It would be good.
I used to have a Kermit the Frog puppet, and he was great because I used to, Elton John was big when I was a kid, and I used to have him singing Saturday Night's All Right, and he was Elton Frog. And I don't ever know what happened to that puppet, but it was very fun.
These are all great answers. I see Oscar the Grouch. Think a little more recent. It's a more recent person. Oh, there's Bill Cosby. I think we all wish he was a puppet, but no, he's a human.
I always think was Bill Cosby on Sesame? I know Mr. Rogers.
Yeah, I think he's playing with puppets now when he's behind bars. I'm not sure.
No, Mr. Rogers wasn't on.
Oh, and there's Sagacious saying Oscar the Grouch. That's the one who was in the trash can. It was not Oscar the Grouch.
Yeah, that's one of my guesses was Oscar the Grouch.
Oh, we have a winner.
Crystal is the winner. I don't know what I don't know what the grand prize is, but she won it. What was your when I couldn't guess and you wanted to do your impersonation of Elmo and I finally got it? What was your impersonation?
Oh gosh, all right, let me see if I can do it right.
It kind of sounds like that sounds like your Uncle Chris too.
Oh boy.
Only he's not blowing cigarette smoke in your face.
I hope not.
No. Okay, awesome. Well, so anybody want to offer up who they are? Who are they? So people are talking that they're, like Sagacious was saying, if it's not about her kids, she's fine. She keeps a level head. We've got some proactive people in here and a balance of proactive, reactive. Timmy, who are you in chaos? when chaos really when chaos really strikes, who are you?
Who am I?
Yeah, like what do you do?
I'm kind of nervous. I get nervous and I get kind of all my insides get all tightened up and kind of get twisted into knots and stuff like that. Great example of that would have been last night. Obviously, football fan here, unabashed. And the Seahawk game last night, since we live in the, up in the Pacific Northwest, was a crazy game, and it got down to less than 2 minutes, and we were trying to watch our team march down the field, and it was very nerve-wracking. It was very chaotic. I get kind of quiet, or I go the complete opposite, and I will get extremely loud and mean, and just I say words that are not fit for primetime TV.
Yeah, that was really exciting. And I was down there at the same time, and you were really quiet, just to think of it. So the 3 states of shock are fight, flight, or freeze. And we tend to do any of those things when we are in chaos, unless you can be proactive and have that balance of proactive and reactive, like Kelly was saying. And so, yeah, so Timmy, he typically freezes. Do you remember when we were, and this is, again, this perceived chaos, because, I mean, really, if somebody loses a game, nobody's going to die, right? Like I was talking about the bushfires in Australia and Outback's video, and people could have died if people didn't intervene. So yeah, nobody's going to die. Yeah, they'll lose a game possibly, but we do tend to go into shock over perceived chaos. Another example, do you remember when we were in Mexico? And okay, so you're already privileged if you can take a vacation in Mexico, let's just say. And then we were dropped off by this bus, and we were going to go to the store, and neither of us speak Spanish. And we're inside the store, and we've got like a limited amount of time, like maybe 10 minutes to gather everything that we need. And we're in the store, and I'm trying to do the pesos to dollars conversion to make sure we have enough money. And he's trying to read the labels to see what we're getting in these cans that we can't really read. And he's sitting there like frozen. Do you remember that? You were frozen. I think I had to like nudge you like, hey, go. This is your part of the list. Go get the chicken, pollo. Pollo, go, pollo. And I was just like whipping around going, I don't care how much this costs. If we can't afford it, they'll take it back or whatever. If we don't have the money to pay for it. But so I'm like running around the store, and he's just sitting there. And then I go over to the chicken, and he's over there by the chicken, just like,
Well, in my defense, now wait a second. In my defense, okay, if anybody has ever went grocery shopping in Mexico, okay, they don't have artificial colors into their chicken. So their chicken doesn't look like ours, which is kind of has a pink tinge to it. Their chicken looks gray. And that's not bad chicken. It's still good chicken. It just looks a little gray. That's just the way they do it. So It was a little bit. And then the other thing too is if you buy eggs, you don't buy a dozen eggs or a half a dozen eggs. You buy 1 egg or 2 eggs. You buy individual eggs, just like you would do a can of soda or a can of beer or anything like that. You're buying individuals. They don't sell a 6-pack of beer. You buy 6 individual cans of beer. You might not buy a dozen eggs. You're buying 12 single eggs. And that's what, and of course, that was the list I got, was the eggs and the liquids. And so there you go.
How come we never talked about this? We may have, and I've forgotten, but yes, I definitely got the easier part of the list. I feel really bad now for getting so upset at you. Like, why aren't you moving? But I could understand now, like gray chicken, maybe a little stressful, and maybe you didn't know what to do. And what do you do about the eggs? So, wow. Okay. Well, anyway, fight, flight, or freeze. So we tend to do most of that when we're in chaos, or either one of the 3 we tend to do. Well, so I just want to, I know that Sherry came in, so thank you, Sherry. And I don't know how many people are here, and I'm glad it's a kind of a small group, and we kind of hopefully planned it that way. And I just want to thank any and all of you that are subscribers. And I think it's really cool. And hopefully you've learned a lot from my videos. I know the last one came out a little bit choppy, but I was in a hurry, and what can you do? I'm not the greatest editor when I'm in a hurry. So I think that's another thing to do when you're in chaos, is trying to maybe give up your perfectionism, especially if it's perceived chaos, like we were talking about. Like, who's really going to die if we don't get if we don't get the right eggs? Of course, the gray meat, the gray chicken, somebody could have died if it had, it was bad chicken or something like that.
It would have been me, because I ate most of it.
You would have gotten worse poisoning than me. I ate some of it too. But you didn't tell me it was gray. And
Yeah.
maybe I didn't care at that point in time. Once it's cooked up, didn't it look normal?
Oh, it was normal once it was cooked up. It just didn't look as pretty as, United States chicken.
United States chicken looks pretty?
I don't know. Well, prettier than gray, that's for sure.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, I don't think we had our smartphones back then, so we couldn't have taken a picture of it. But
No,
I would have liked.
Phones.
They were dumb phones. Well, do you want to go away, or are you?
Oh, I don't care. That's up to you.
All right.
You were talking about that 50th birthday, and I know earlier you were talking about how people deal with chaos, and I know we kind of talked a little bit about that earlier, about how people are dealing with it and stuff. And it was a pretty big deal for me. It was my 50th birthday, and it's like, well, what do you do in these times for a 50th birthday? So the theater thing was a really, really neat option, and everybody I've talked to they've all said the same thing, that it was a really cool thing to do. So even after this COVID thing is over with, I'm probably going to do it again. They gave us a huge discount on popcorn and candy and soda and everything, and for 16 of us to see a movie and have all the concessions that we wanted, and have it about less than $300.
Yeah.
That was pretty good, and we saw a pretty good movie. And
yeah,
so there's an idea for you if you're looking for things to do. I know in most areas theaters aren't open, but we're pretty lucky in the county that we live in. People are pretty adamant about putting the masks on and wearing the masks and keeping distance and stuff like that. So I guess it all depends on where you live and how much your neighbors and friends are adhering to the guidelines.
Right.
Which, they're ever changing. So
yeah. Well, I think Sagacious is from the United Kingdom, so maybe she could comment about how, if she already hasn't. I'm sorry if I've missed her comment. If you're, how you're doing with the COVID requirements, because I don't even know what the requirements are in the UK right now. I think they're the same as ours, but Sagacious is going to have a 50th, it looks like. And Stephanie does not sweat the small stuff. Yeah, you know what? Oh, I like what you said about reminders, because I was thinking about this today. One of the mantras that I live by is, when it stops being fun, then it's time to change your game plan. And that's my reminder, is that when things stop being enjoyable, then that's my reminder that I need to change my game plan and not sweat the small stuff. So awesome. So Sagacious is turning 50, and she's hired a lovely boat. Ooh, we did that once. Our company did that for us, and it was really super cool. And I don't know, a boat should be pretty safe, don't you think?
It should be. I would think it would be safe. It depends on who you're inviting and stuff like that. But it depends upon what the restrictions are in the area that you live in, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. So Sagacious comes in with about the lockdown. Oh, wow. He's 91. Wow. Good for him. Okay. So you're a caregiver.
Wow. Go with a staff and a bar. Sign me up. I'm all about that. I had
That's
to
what it
smuggle
was.
my booze into the theater. Oops, did I say that?
You did not, did you?
I didn't open it. Never got around to it.
Well, he was given a flask and a little, I forget what it was. What was there was some sort of alcoholic beverage that she gave me
Jameson.
for a present and stuff. So of course he had it in the theater with him in his bags. So yeah, that's awesome. And I don't know how big the boat is, but that's a wonderful way to calm the, even when I'm just thinking about being on a boat like that, I start to feel calm. And so visualization is a really good tool to use. As far as I'm visualizing that for you, Sagacious. I don't know when you're having your birthday. I know you said when next year. I have a feeling that all this stuff's going to clear up by March, though. I don't know. I listened to this lady named Rosie the astrologer, and she's from Olympia, and she made a bunch. If anybody wants to check her out, she does these transit talks for free, and you go to her website and you just can click on it and make a donation if you want. But she starts talking about how all these planets are going to be really super crazy in the next coming months. And in fact, tomorrow, Mercury goes into retrograde and Mars also goes into retrograde. And if you don't know what retrograde is, that means that planets usually move in one direction. And then all of a sudden they're not moving in the same direction anymore. They're going the opposite way. So that kind of messes up a lot of stuff. When our United States presidential elections happen on November 3rd, we are going to have 4 planets in retrograde. How do you like them apples? So things are going to get kind of crazy here. So I like listening to Rosie the astrologer. And she looked at the planets, and one of them has something about, I don't know, viruses, germs, or whatever. And that one is going to be back in alignment next year. So that's what I'm choosing to believe at this point, because that's probably the most optimistic thing that I've heard out of anywhere. And 2020 has been a really, really super tough year. So anybody wants me to post the link to Rosie the astrologer's page. She is amazing. And her last transit talk she did last week was outstanding, I think. So well, it looks like we're about the half-hour mark. Does anybody have any chaos that they want skills for? Or are you just here to support me, which is awesome? If so, we'll just leave it. Optimism. Yeah. Yeah, through no matter what means it is. Like for me, I choose to believe an astrologer because that's the most optimistic. I don't think that's the most optimistic. I can hope for a vaccine. Is that how you... Timmy is really the optimist here. How do you stay so optimistic, Timmy?
Well, just, I hang out with the same people all the time if I hang out. I mean, obviously I hang out with you. If I go out golfing, I pretty much golf with the same people. If we stick around for a beer or something afterwards, we sit together or we sit outside if we can. And that's pretty much my interaction with other people. I keep my distance. I can tell you this, I have been into a bank once since the whole COVID thing broke out. So once, and I used to go at least once a week. I've gone once in the last 7 months, and that's only because I had to break $100 bill. Yeah, big problem, right? You and I, as a couple, have dined out once since the COVID thing. And that was just last week, and we dined outside.
Yeah.
So as far as optimistic, I don't know if I'd call it optimism as much as I'm kind of like, I wouldn't say fed up or tired or anything like that. It's just, I feel like I've been there, done that. And I'm going to have to, at some point in time, take the training wheels off and trust that the people I hang out with on a regular basis are doing the same thing. Mm-hmm. And we do talk about it when we're out there doing whatever it is we're doing. And I firmly believe that they are doing what they need to do, and staying safe. I don't think anybody wants to get this. At least I hope you don't want to get it. I don't know anybody personally that's gotten it. In this whole idea of herd immunity, it's a terrible thought, I think. And Sweden's learning that the hard way. And I think even Boris Johnson over there in England maybe some of your listeners will attest to us. I think he thought about doing that and learned very quickly that's probably not the way to go. So it just, it just letting go and trusting. And that's the hardest part. Is there going to be a vaccine? I think eventually there will be a vaccine. I do. I mean, we got a vaccine for smallpox, for the measles, for all that stuff. I think there will be. I don't think it's going to be this year. I think it'll be, probably sometime May or June of next year that we'll be able to get it. And even that probably won't work is what they're saying. So we're going to be stuck in this mask thing for a little bit longer, I think. So, yeah.
Well, that's optimistic. Thanks a lot, Timmy, for the pep talk. And
yes.
No, it's interesting though that both our presidents have gotten the COVID. The UK's president, I guess prime minister, or is that what he is? Prime minister?
I think he's prime minister. Yeah.
And our president. So I like the letting go, because there's fear. You can't see my hands, but there's fear and there's faith. And so it's on a continuum on how much you're going to let fear affect the trust that you have in your life that you're going to be okay. And so some people are just very trusting and don't really fear. And other people are very fearful and don't trust. So those are the extremes, but you can find your way somewhere in the middle. Oh, I didn't know about Prince Charles having it.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Interesting.
That's not bad. Jeez.
Wow. Well, so we have be optimistic, seek support, and just so we have resources within each other, in our communities and our friends and our families. There's breathing and fresh air, sunshine, trusting, letting go. And I like all those tips for sure. And what was the other thing I was going to mention? Nobody has any chaos, really?
I think we've all found a way to deal with this thing.
I'm sorry to hear about that. Yeah, so it is real.
That's not good. That's not good.
Yeah, some people don't think it's real, that it's just sort of a made up thing. And I really did believe it was real, because I remember the cruise ship that was docked in Japan. Why would they keep all those people on that cruise ship and then fly them home in the way that they did, and keep them quarantined unless there was a really big problem? I knew that was real because you could see it. And unless they got all those people on the ship to act out a part, then I was going to believe that it was real because I was seeing it with my own eyes. And I remember the day, it was March 19th, where I decided that I was going to not see any clients in person anymore at my office. And it just broke my heart, because I love my office and I'm back in it now and seeing some clients in person, but we're being really careful and wearing masks. But it was a good 6 months until I started seeing people again in person. So
I'll tell you what, I'll take a day on the beach any time of year. Just hearing the waves crash and everything. So it's nice. And that's why I love where I live. It's where we live, actually. It's, where I've always explained this to a lot of different people. We are a 1 hour car drive away from any kind of atmosphere we want to be in, other than a desert. We're an hour away from the ocean. We're an hour away from one of the most beautiful mountains in this country. We're an hour away from, big city. If we wanted to go to big city, who wants to go to a big city now, though? But, it's great. We're an hour away from a winery. Mm-hmm. Yay.
We're a couple hours away from another country. We are actually pretty close to the Canadian border. I mean, well, not really close, but yeah. And
she is lucky. She's living on the beach or the coast. That's nice.
Well, I think the UK is kind of like, well, I don't know how big it is in size, but it's kind of like Washington State is, I think 3 of the 4 quarters of it is, we just have a lot of water around us. And I think that's kind of the same with the landscape there. And it's great. We like it here. And so, well, I guess I got a good idea about who everybody is in chaos. Who do you want to be? Is it pretty much in alignment with who you are? Because I know that I think I would like to be less reactive. And that's one of the reasons why I love my podcast, is because it challenges me to think of new things to calm my own overwhelm and anxiety. And I would like to be less in my head about it and more like what Timmy was saying about just sort of letting go and trusting. That's the way I would like to be when chaos comes. How about all of you guys? Are you pretty much in alignment? You're good with who you are? Because if you are, this is like the healthiest group of people. I'm here getting advice from you guys on how I could calm my chaos. It's great. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Well, the trust comes with a lot of strings. There's a lot of strings attached with that trust, because you're not just trusting your judgment and yourself. You're also trusting other people's judgments and things that they do. Kelly had posted something. She's trying to find something else to do. Again, our whole my 50th birthday, it just kind of came out of the blue. I got an email from the local movie theater, because our theaters here are open in our county. And it just kind of popped up. I advise you just kind of think outside the box a little bit. If you're looking for things to do, maybe get together with some friends. Maybe, I don't know what part of the country you're in, Kelly, but maybe finding a tent that you can put up outside if you've got enough land, and inviting some people over and having something like that. It's
I don't know who it was that was saying that they had, it was maybe, I don't know, I heard it somewhere. I listened to so much. I'm a professional listener, but somebody had said, oh no, it was my cousin Jessie, I think. She had a whole like street, and they had like a yard sale, and they had no, it was Rob, but that's right. They said they had a block party. And they just had people with their neighbors, and everybody like brought some stuff. They socially distanced, they wore masks, and it was just on their little cul-de-sac. But that could work for apartment complexes too, as long as you have a little space that you can go. And it's apparently people just have to be creative. And that's one of the things that this time has really challenged us to do, is to use our creativity. I think Timmy has said, I don't know if this is a quote from somebody else, but he said, creativity is the mother of invention. And it really does challenge us to think of things that we can do that would be fun, and also be respectful and adhere to the laws and rules of quarantine. So a couple of us wanting to be like,
actually necessity is the mother of invention, but that's okay. Same thing.
Oh, okay.
Necessity. Yes. And
well, I guess that kind of applies here too. I remember when I was in college, when I was getting my undergrad, and we all got locked in our classroom, and we were at this classroom that was at the end of the hall that nobody ever came down, and we could not get out. And I don't know how we did it, but somehow somebody, and then there was this window that was way up high that somebody, I think, lifted somebody up to open the window. And we were able to get the window open, and somebody was able to yell down the hall. It was like a science lab. And so we wouldn't have ever figured that out unless we had to get out of that room. But we were locked in. It was pretty scary. Anyway, I went out tangent land there, but yeah. So a couple of people want to be less reactive. I definitely do. That's why I have Timmy here to do my insurance billing and dealing with the insurance companies, the health insurance companies, over the phone, because I tend to get kind of reactive, like, what, you denied that claim? Well, I'll just be really, my blood gets boiling. So fortunately, I have him. So that's support and resources there. But I would like to be less reactive. In fact, I was on the phone with an insurance company last week, and I did pretty good, didn't I?
You did all right.
I was trying to keep my calm when my heart was beating like, how dare you deny this claim? Oh, okay. What did I miss here? So Stephanie says, oh, she's not calm. She's had panic attacks. Oh boy. Yeah. Taking things one step at a time. And so, yeah, so Stephanie, I saw you on a live show and you looked really calm. And so I don't know if you were nervous or not. I saw you this week. And, but whatever you're doing, it doesn't appear, at least if you were, if you're not a calm person, you appeared calm on that live show. And I know that when you're on a live show, sometimes it can be, it makes you a little nervous, of course. So anyway, I don't know what your secret is about looking calm, but breathing definitely is my go-to. Like taking in that air. And then there's the square breathing. If everybody knows what square breathing is, that is 4 squares, 4 groups of 4 square. So 4 counts, inhale, 4 counts, pause, 4 counts, exhale, 4 counts, pause. And you want to do that slowly. So you're counting and you're pausing and you're breathing. You're getting that steady supply of oxygen to your brain and you're being distracted when you are counting. And this skill comes really in handy when you are with a person who is in your face intense, or you're in a position where somebody is getting intense and you want to have a little distance from them, but still hear what they're saying. You can do that technique and it works like a charm. I do that around Timmy all the time when you're talking about politics. Oh, I'm sorry. That was my inner monologue coming out.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, Stephanie, good luck with the panic attacks. Those are not easy. The thing with panic attacks is that to catch them early when you feel the first signs of them coming on. So some people will start to sweat in their palms, or they'll feel a rapid pulse. They'll start to shake, or like for me, my cheeks start to get flushed a little bit. So when you start to see those early signs of panic, then do an intervention like the breathing, or grab yourself some essential oil that works for you, that will calm you down. Now, that's one of the quickest ways to get grounded, is by the sense of smell. And there you can use all the 5 senses to calm yourself down, but catch it early, because when it goes into panic, it's the difference between a fire in the kitchen and the whole house is on fire. So taking care of the fire in the kitchen early on, before the house gets on fire, is really super important. So if you're in tune with the way that your body starts to feel when it starts to feel panicky, then you can catch it early. It's your alarm system. So I hope that helped. It was just a little tip for Stephanie. Yes. So as heart begins to race, if your heart is racing, then breathing will work really well for you, just to be able to stop and breathe. And this is a cool biofeedback technique, just FYI, is to take your pulse. Take your pulse when your heart begins to race, or if you have one of those fancy schmancy watches that puts your pulse out there, you can have your pulse. So you take note of your pulse. Mine is usually pretty high, like around 80. And then what you do is you start to do a couple of relaxation interventions, and then you take your pulse again, and you have mastery about how much your pulse goes down. And it's amazing to see that happen in sessions when I have, especially with adolescent clients, to be able to teach them that you can actually have control over your body, your heartbeat. I had a psych teacher one time tell me that he was able to make his hands warm up if he wanted them to. And our minds and our bodies are connected, and they're so powerful together. So then, yeah, so that's my little biofeedback tip. I think I can get my pulse down to, let's say I'm usually around 80. I can get it down to somewhere in the low 70s if I really try. And I think just to have that mastery and to know that you can do that is really super important. Yeah, medication works. Propranolol is a blood pressure medication that can be used as a preventative. I tried taking that. I don't know if you remember it, Timmy, and it made me super cold. Like it made my nose cold. For some reason, it's like my blood went cold when I took propranolol. And so that's a really good one to take like every day to make sure that you don't get panic attacks.
One ice cube makes your nose cold.
Yeah, it's usually pretty cold. So, and I wanted to put that here too, since we're almost out of time here, but our body shows us the signs before our brain processes it. Yeah, and that's so true because sometimes we don't even know what's going on. And if you are aware of what's going on in your body moment to moment, that's why mindfulness, I'm such a big mindfulness geek, is because if you're aware of what's going on in your body, and then you can figure out, you can think, oh, what's going on? And then your mind, you can check in with your mind, and they're just linked. You can try and calm the mind down. You can try and calm the body down. Try and do both. I always say go with the body first, like what Kelly was saying. Get that calm down, and then you can start to talk to yourself. Bless you. You got the COVID?
Oh yeah.
Did you get the COVID from the movie theater? I hope not, because I
No,
got it
there
too.
was no. That was a long time ago. We're clean. We're fine.
Oh, well, bye, Stephanie. Thanks for joining us. And we're just about to wrap it up. I saw Joe Madre in here. So I didn't see you earlier. Hi, Joe. And we are just doing a little hour of Chaos 101 and checking in with our friends. And I'm just so glad everybody joined us. Propranolol. Yeah, it works for some people, but for some reason just made me really super cold, like made my blood run cold. So, but if anybody's a subscriber, again, thank you for doing that. It's just my this is my little baby. My little Calming the Chaos is my baby. I just love to be able to help people because we have so much overwhelm in our world. I just love to be able to help people through any way we can. We have a very balanced group. I wonder if Joe Madre could answer the question that you had about the Sesame Street characters. Maybe since she's just coming here, let's ask her. Let Joe, what was the question again, honey?
Oh gosh, really? All right. What is or who is the only non-human Sesame Street character to appear before the Supreme Court?
Now, no peeking back in the chat. I just want to know if Joe can get that. I want to give her the benefit of coming on here and see if she can make a guess. The non-human Sesame Street character, and can I ask Timmy why this character was standing before the Supreme Court?
That might give it away.
Oh, well, maybe you can tell us at the end because I didn't even think to ask that until now. So. You're welcome, Kelly. It was good to see you and Sagacious and Stephanie and everybody else, Lady Lucan. I'm trying to remember everybody. And this has been great. It's fun. It's kind of nice to get connected and hang out. Yeah, and we'll wait a little bit for Joe. Anything you want to say in parting thoughts? Oh, Cookie Monster. That's what I guessed too. Actually, I think that was my second guess. Well, what's your hint, Timmy? You want to do your
Well, my hint is it was very recent, like within the last 10 years, actually, that this character appeared.
Big Bird. Oh. Yeah. No, Big Bird. I know. I guess that one too, Joe. What's your?
So here's your clue. Your clue is red.
What about your other clue that you gave?
Oh, there you go. Joe got it.
Oh, great. See, at least I guessed three, and then he had to give me his Elmo impersonation, which I guess nobody wants to do. Which sounds like his Uncle Chris that used to blow cigarette smoke in his face.
He appeared before Supreme Court for a music education process that was going before Congress.
Fun fact.
That's why Elmo, and apparently Elmo is a he, so that ends that debate.
Yeah, I remember one of my clients, this was a long time ago. She says, I'm emo. And I said, what's emo? I said, I know what Elmo is. It kind of showed how old I was. I didn't know what an emo was. And but I knew who Elmo was. So yay. Well, I guess we're going to go ahead and close it up because we seem to be very balanced and good here. And I hope you guys got some tips from each other. I know I did. To sum it up for Joe, who came here a little bit later, that we want to stay optimistic and support each other. We went through some breathing techniques, and we talked about fight, flight, or freeze and treating shock. We talked about gray chicken meat in Mexico and also some eggs by the each, and fresh air, sunshine, trusting, and letting go, having faith that we're going to be okay.
Beaches.
Beaches. I forgot about the beaches. Thank you. Beaches and boats, like what bodies of water. Yeah. So there you go. I hope all of you guys are well. Thank you for doing this and for being here with me. Thank you for saying that. We are just here to experiment, learn, and do whatever. So, all right, I'll end the broadcast. Everybody. Oh yes, that's right. I have to do my playing of the theme here. Yes, right. Isn't that beautiful music? My buddy Will, he loves playing his guitar, and that's my theme for Calming the Chaos. So this is how I'm going to end my broadcast. This is just the way I began. Again, thank you very much for hanging out. And Timmy, anything you want to say?
Nope. Have a good night.
Yep.
Stay safe. Wash your hands. Wear your mask.
Don't touch your face. Don't get the COVID, everybody. All right. Well, you guys take it easy. And we have to wait for the very end of this song. Yeah, here we go. Bling. All right. Take care.